Welcome back. So hopefully by now you understood how we ordered the data and how you weighed your grouped frequency data and how you figured out the width of each class. Just to remind you, to figure out the width of each class, we did range. Let me see if I can move back to that other notebook. Yeah, range divided by the classes. Okay, how many classes we want? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so our range is 20 minus 3, which gave us 17, divided by the number of classes we wanted, gives us 3.4. And we just go to the next whole number. Okay, so you can start with any number, including 3, or you can go lower. I just decided to start in 1. You can start with 3. It's up to you. Okay, as long as all the values are included. Okay, so let's go back to this one. So I moved the table over here. We know that each class has a width. Width is how wide the spread of the values of 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on to 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay? So let us put our table over here. I'm sorry, our graph. Okay? So let me get this color. Let's try green. I didn't know that we can change that to green. Okay, so we cannot start right here. Let me do this. Because a lot of you started at this point, connecting it to the y-axis. You cannot do that unless the first value of your class, okay, this is a class, is 0. But it's not. It's 1. That's why I deliberately made sure I chose a value that's not 0 to show you that you cannot start your bars here. Because if you do that, then that means this is 0. But it's not. It's 1. Okay? So where do we start? We need to start a little bit away from 0. So I will start it and put 1. Okay? Now, the next value is 5. Okay, so just as long as I space it evenly, okay, 1, 2, I have 5 there. Then the next is 9. The next is 13. And the next is 17. Okay, and just for fun, the next would be 21. That means if I had one more here, it would start at 21 because we just need a place to end the last bar. So if you notice, if you look over here, okay, I just made sure I did not put my first bar by this line, by the y-axis, because our class interval, okay, did not start at 0. It started as 1. Okay, and look at the next point that I marked here, 5, which is the first value in the next class. Okay, then 9, which is the next value here, 13, and 17. And why did I add the 21? Because if I didn't, then how can we close the bar, the last bar? Okay, so now let's plot and make the graph. Okay, so the first is 1 to 4 has a frequency of 2. Okay, let me just change this to red. So I start here, here, and here. Okay, so there you go. I have my first bar. The second is 5 to 8, which has 4. Okay, then the next is 9 to 12, which has 8. So 8 would be over here. Okay. Next is 13 to 16, which is 10. Okay, that didn't come out that straight. Let's make it straighter. Okay. And the last one, which is 17 to 20, has a frequency of 6, which is right here. And see why I added the 21? Just to show that the last bar Okay, ends over there. So see, there are no gaps. Okay, I will explain further why everything is connected, but that is for another video. Okay, what is missing? You always need to make what kind of graph? A salty graph. Okay, do we have the scales? Yes, we do have the scales. We have the scales here and here. We have our axis. Okay, so we have your y and your x-axis. Do we have labels? No. So how do we put the labels? Let's look at our table. Okay, we have frequency. And where do we put frequency? Frequency would be the y-axis. Okay, frequency would be the y-axis. So that's why I move frequency there. Okay, now what would go underneath? What are all this 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, and 21? Where did we get that? Over here. So what would be the label? The label would be number of hours. Okay, let me just move this so I can move that over there. Number of hours. Okay, so let's see what we have. We already have scale, axis, label. What's missing? Yes, title. So what would be a good title for this? I don't know. What do you think? You need to look at the question. A mother asked her child how many hours did he play basketball every week. The results are listed below. Now that I read this again, I realize the place where I copied it had quite a number of grammatical errors. Okay, how many hours he? There should not be no did. How many hours he played basketball every week? Okay, so what would be a good title? We can say it number or hours of basketball played every week. Number of basketball played every week. Okay, so simple title. Okay, so now do we have a salty graph? Let's check. Okay, do we have a title? Yes. Did we use the right graph? Yes, we used the histogram. So that's how you make a histogram. Okay, so now go back. If you did it wrong, then redo it. Okay, the more you do it, the more it's going to be ingrained in your mind. Okay, and once again, I bid you bye-bye.